Hello and good afternoon. Happy New Year's Eve. Jason Phillips from Auto Appraise, finishing up a pre-purchase inspection on a 1976 Cadillac Eldorado convertible. Car represented to have 28,700 actual miles. Appears that the filler panels, which are common to crack and break in these cars, may have been already restored. We'll go around the car for Carl. Here it is, Carl. Eventually, if you are seeing this video and your name is not Carl, it's because it's been published on a more public fashion and may still be available, or it may not. So you're getting ready to watch a pretty long, boring inspection video unless you're interested in 76 Cadillac Eldorados. If you need service like this on a different car, 800-301-3886. Inspectors all across the country. I handle them here in Michigan like this via video. We'll test drive the car in the end, get underneath it. If that all sounds like fun, then hang out and check it out. Firethorn Metallic was the factory applied color on this car, and that's what you're still looking at on all the panels. That would be a code 36 on the trim tag. Code 11 is a cotillion white vinyl top. That looks to be an original top. Looks like it. Doesn't appear that it's been replaced. If it was done a long time ago. Code 712 Dark Firethorn. I think that's right, Dark Firethorn leather seating. Well, for starters, the chrome is definitely what one would expect for the age of the car. Bumper rubbers are all original. They have not been changed. I don't think any chrome work's been done. Little innie dent right there. But generally speaking, the bumper rubbers are in good shape. There's a little nick in the bottom of this one. Small piece of a broken lens in the tail light. Could probably pick that up used. I think these back filler pieces have been tended to and repainted. They're in really nice shape. Looking at the back color of the car, visually, it would appear that there's a really subtle color difference between the deck lid and the body, wouldn't there? We're under fluorescent lights, so it's going to look a little more intense. The digital paint meter doesn't tend to agree. 4.0, 3.5. Oops, am I showing you? 3.5, my digits are kind of worn out, but you can kind of see them. 3.5. Can't get a good read on that. 3.0. 3.5. Looks like maybe 13.5. And maybe 15.5. So we may have had some repaint work up along the top rear cowl. There's some shrinkage right here where that factory overlap seam is. That's pretty common to see on an original body. And then we've got some swelling happening up underneath the convertible top trim, and a little bit of the same condition here. That could certainly stand to be touched up, be a little less obvious. And then some shrinkage of that seam. So that's pretty common, and it looks pretty bad under the fluorescent light. It'll look a little better when it's not under the fluorescent light. I do not feel a tape line or feel any division. And paint thickness here, 5, 4, 4.5, so we're talking the thickness of a dollar bill. Another spot right there. Rest of the car tests out anywhere between 3.5. Down low on the doors, I'm getting 3.0, and down here like 1.5, I think it was. 3.5, 3.5. Somewhere down low, I got a low reading, 3.5. All that's 3.5. Still photos available for Carl to review all the panels. This video is going to summarize all of that, but both sides of the car tested equal. And for the most part, those are OEM paint readings on a 76 Cadillac. So as far as major contamination goes, that up there on the back cowl is probably the worst. There's a little bit of stone splash, which you would expect down low. Ping, 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 ping. I think that's a water spot. No, it's not. So there's a little touch up right here. And a little chip of paint down there. There's a little bit of stone splash on the front of the hood. A little mark there, a little mark there. While I've got the hood up, taking a better peek at the headlight surrounds and the front chrome trim and the surface of the bumper, they all remain very nice. Not much to talk about there, not much to complain about. Original rubber strips, again, a few little marks and mars, but nothing to get too excited about. Lenses are in good shape front and rear, except where I noted previously. I'm not going to drop that hood yet because it weighs about 800 pounds, and that's extra work. So we're going to finish combing over the body. A little ping here, and that's a nothing mark. That's a tiny scratch. I think subtly, though, you get the idea that the reflective quality of the paint's very nice. That front end of that car is about 4 feet away. So the paint still has good visibility and reflection. Small little stone chip there and a few little pings here and there. The only door dings that I really found in the car are right here and right there. I'll move that so you can kind of see them a little better. Small small dab of an area right there of missing paint too, a little surface rust. And then now we're back on the rear of the car. So that being said, there we go, back into focus. Good shape. You could have got color keyed hubcaps to match the body in that Firethorn color, or the black ones. This car's got the black ones. I don't know if those are original to it or were changed. Glass-wise, well, let's finish up the chrome before we go under. Original lower windshield wiper panel is in pretty good shape. Just a few little wiper marks, but nothing substantial. Nothing to indicate that it's got 100,000 miles on it. Chrome on the mirrors and the A-pillar uprights. Nice polish. No real issues. Belt moldings look nice. Door handles. No heavy wear. No heavy pitting. Let me get that into focus. No overspray on the gaskets. Convertible top surround trim, that could stand to be polished up. Some 000 steel wool. Older all-season steel belted radials with an older 90s tread pattern and design. I didn't date code those, but you can tell by the tread pattern they're older. They have plenty of visible tread, but they're older. As far as alignment goes, all the panels are in real nice alignment. That door gap right there, this door could either stand to come out this way, 1/16 of an inch, maybe an 1/8, and or the fender could go back in a little bit. The doors open and close really nice for big, huge, giant, heavy doors. Car was undercoated or tough coated back in the day. Door corners look very nice. That times 4 is what you get. No real heavy deterioration. A little bit of chippage. There we go. Bottoms of the doors are clean. Door panels are clean. Nothing to report. No cracks in the armrest trim. Courtesy lights are working. Both sides. Door jamb. Presentation just like that on both sides. We'll show you a little bit of the other one. We'll finish up on the interior, then climb underneath it. Again, door jamb, factory original VIN sticker still in place. Just a little bit of scale there with a paint chip, but nothing horrific. Original rubber seals in good shape. I rolled the windows up and down, and they are working as you would expect. Nothing's been rebuilt. Power windows, the power locks go up and down. The actuators are weak. You got to hit the switch 3 or 4 times to make it happen. And they've probably been sitting a long time. They just haven't had a lot of wear. Door jamb, again, no real difference. Interior, oh, let me come back. We got a little small crack in the door pad material, but nothing else other than that. No cracks to be seen in the dash. That's nice. Steering wheel in super nice shape. Steering column really nice. No evidence of high mileage really on the car to speak of. The carpet kit could actually stand to be cleaned up a little bit, and it's mostly from shoe mars. Doesn't smell funny in here. Nobody's painted anything. Nice original carpet and mat. Somebody's high heel wore a spot, I believe, in there. Pedals are not excessively worn. Just a little bit of corner brake pedal wear. Everything intact up underneath the dash. Wood grain and the gauge faces all very nice. 28729 on the clock. AM FM radio, no 8-track. Does have a power trunk release button. Does not appear to be releasing. Seat belts are in great shape. Leather interior is worn really nice. This is really the only cracking / wear you see. It's not cracked through. It could be actually color dyed a little bit, made to look better. Nothing to report. Seat backs are in nice shape. Carpet underneath the mat's in nice shape. Everything's looking good there. Inside of the top could stand to be cleaned. It does not smell funny in here, but a few little stains along the top from sitting. But it smells good. Doors close nice. We don't need too much of a push. And they don't show much sag when I lift them. The whole car moves. I don't feel any bushing issues. Safety flow light markings on all the glass. So convertible top's in good shape. That covers glass, paint, chrome, trim. I guess we better get under it. In a minute. And once I get down there, it's hard to get back up off the ground. Overflow tank has red later antifreeze in it. Dipsticks were pulled. The transmission fluid does not smell burnt, and it is pink. The oil is reasonably okay, goldish. It could stand to be changed, and it's probably about a quart high-ish. Original cran mark and date code on top of the distributor cap, on top of the coil, actually. Older period clamps and striped hoses. Showing those signs of originality. A few other marks and stickers down underneath the hood. I can't really get good. There we go. But a few pencil mark, crayon marks. You got a yellow striped vacuum hose on the cruise control unit. A little bit of oil seepage. It would appear coming off the valve covers, dripping down the front of the block. So that's going to be needing some assistance. Crayon mark on the alternator. Get my light off it so you can see it. Water pump, I don't know, may have been changed a long time ago. It's got better paint coverage on it than the rest of the front of the motor. Hasn't been done too recently. And a little bit of oil drippage again on the valve cover gaskets. They should probably be changed. Engine bay is just very stock and original, trim tag present. Whole car was undercoated. I'll show you underneath here in a minute. That's an undersized battery, needs a bigger battery. Radiator fluid is down about to the top of the transmission input cooling line. And hard to see. I tried to get a picture of it with the cap off. It doesn't look like any of the fluids have really been flushed. It could stand a coolant flush and it could stand an oil change. Radiator core is in great shape. And the condenser's not super beat up from dead bugs or whatnot. Alright, now let's get underneath it. I'll point out that the spring might be missing off this headlight adjustment. It should look like that. So that bright light's going to be lighting up the deer and the trees. Last point of note, the hood liner is original, and that air conditioning compressor was throwing some oil at some point. I did notice a sticker in 02 that claims to have retrofitted the, oops, sorry I'm not showing that right. That sticker shows that the system was retrofitted to R134. More about that momentarily. Alright, down here on the ground, the car is what I would call period straight, and again, that's because the paint meter doesn't reflect that any paint work's been done on the vehicle anywhere except where I pointed out in the back. And I don't see where that was blended. I will go down this side of the car because the other side's identical. There's really nothing else to report. Side to side, it's all symmetrical. No evidence of collision damage. Inner structure is nice and sound. Battery tray area, and opposite the battery tray doesn't look like anything's been tinkered with. Up underneath, grease buildup and undercoating present. Multiple locations. Front lower core support doesn't look like it's got any structural damage. Everything looks really good that way. Good and solid, original car, not restored, obviously. Back here I can't see as the CV boots or joints have ever been changed. The ball joints, upper and lower, are well greased. There might be a tear in that upper boot. Hard to see. You can see that there's original rivets in them, so they haven't been serviced. Inner fenders are in good shape. Front of the motor down low, nothing's pouring out of it. This oil underneath on the floor, I parked over this on the last car I inspected. It just happens to be right in front of their garage door, and I don't think it's coming out of this car. We've got one spliced fuel line coming out of the bottom of the fuel pump. This car's been sitting a long time because the oil filter is dated from 2002, July of 2002. Old cars, they sit around a long time, don't they? So a little bit of seepage, as you can see. I'm guessing a lot of that's coming from the valve covers and running down. It's going to be hard to make any other draw any other conclusions based on the fact that oil's coming from the highest source. So stock, stable, original front end, no rebuild at 28,000 miles, and you wouldn't expect it. Frame rail's in good shape. Let's move backwards. So here we take a peek at the driver's side floor pan, rocker panel, rocker trim. This could all be done with some 000 stainless and cleaned up nicer. But you see undercoating present everywhere on the fuel and brake lines. Heavy on the rear transmission cross member. That's bubbly oil, petroleum-based undercoating. A little bit of dampness on the tranny pan, and nothing running out of it that I can see. That, again, does not represent this car. So a quick telltale sign of an original low miles car is the exhaust. And we've got the original cat still on here with a substantial rust hole on both sides from sitting there and condensating. And then from there back, somebody's changed the exhaust out. So we got a newer muffler, newer resonator, and tailpipe, and newer intermediate pipe. But the floor pans look just like this. They're all very solid and stable, coming down just like that. Up here in the inner rocker structure between that little gap, inner rockers are in really nice shape. I've got some still photos of that, but nothing there to report. So, hit to the back of the car really quick. Breathing like a fat man at a banana split eating contest, up and down here. Rear frame support looks nice. No major collision issues or anything like that. Undercoating, it's been there a billion years. Shock extensions. Bottom of the quarter panel lip, factory spot welds you see there. A lot of this is mud splash. And some stone chips. But the inner panels look really nice. Original quarter panel tab right there in the middle of my screen. And the other side looks just like it. No evidence of collision in the back. No evidence of collision in the front. No evidence of a fuel leak back here. There's your newer resonator. Trailering arms, brake lines, all of that stuff is just stock and original. So nothing unusual underneath the vehicle to report. The trunk and the door locks all work off the same key, and everything works without issue. The trunk doesn't appear to have a power trunk pull down. Original boot cover is in pretty decent shape, and the foam is here with it. Excuse me. A box of some aftermarket filler panels still here wrapped in plastic. Original jack tied down, and an original spare with the old tread pattern. Still looks good. Trunk kit's all together, and so is the spare tire cover. Jams are in good shape. Got some crackage right here. Scratches. Okay, let's just call it a scratch. I can't come up with anything creative to name it, so. And it's not a crack, it's a scratch. It's a deep, deep scratch. That kind of looks like a crack. Trunk seal's pretty flattened and worn. I think I'd changed that one. The door seals haven't been changed if I did or didn't mention that. The back of the lip is in really nice shape. There's a little bit of just surface rust on the edge popping, blistering there a little bit. This side's actually better on the driver's side, as you can see. So not too bad. Original stickers in place. Showing a sticker for a mini spare, but that's not what we have here. Don't know if that was the case normally or not. The unleaded fuel only sticker is missing, and it's because they replaced that panel. Alright, we're fired up. We're going to roll for a very short test drive. I do think I'll roll the windows up. Original safety flow light markings, I believe I mentioned. The high idle is working and kicking. The gas gauge appears to be working. We got 1/8 of a tank. Still up on high idle, so just got it started. Engine temp was about in the 60s when I fired it up. The radio does go on. Power antenna starts to go up, and if I run it with the switch, it goes up even a little more. Can you see it? There we go, come on. Let's stand a little oil. Alright. Let's take that off for now. Starting to come down a little bit. Wipers are sweeping. That's high, that's medium, that's low, it's off. Flip them on delay and see if that works. Headlights, there's parking lights are coming on and off. Headlights. Brights. Delay wipers are working. Blower's working. We're down on cold. I'll have to lift that giant 800-pound hood up again and see if we have air conditioning. Alright, pause this while we're backing up. A quick look at the car outside before we get covered with snow. Marker lights, headlights functioning. I didn't point out this scratch because the hood wasn't down earlier, but there's a small, probably a car wash style scratch. Otherwise, the lines are very presentable. Side markers working. Tail lights working. More space in that filler panel than the other. A little taller gap on the stand to be adjusted up there on the left side. Always see a little more when you get them outside. Engine sounds really good. Smell any oil burning. It is cold out today. Alright, let me get out of the parking lot. Alright, least aggressive test drive of the year with no plates, no insurance, and heading down the road. If something bad happens, you'll never see this video. Alright, there's first to second. Speedometer is working. Stall out. Let's hope I'm not out of gas. I am out of gas, son of you know what. Okay, well, it runs. Well, this is a great way to end up the video on New Year's Eve day. Jason Phillips from Auto Appraise. I'm going to start making my walk back in my tennis shoes. And we'll get some gas in this car, get it fired up. If there's anything else unusual, I'll shoot another video. But it feels like it runs good. It feels like it's shifting okay. And it feels like it's out of gas. All right, thanks for hanging out, and have a nice day.